Hello, welcome to the All for the Culture podcast and YouTube show. This is Kunal, and we got a special guest. We got the first female artist on the show. She is a queen in Houston. We are live from her store in the heart of Houston, Texas, 5th Ward. And we got Queen Just Brittany in the house today. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'm glad to be a part of the show.
Thank you for coming on. So we want to talk to you. We want to get to know you as well as possible. So let's start with, I want to talk to you about growing up and your early childhood and your parents. And I heard you were like a schoolgirl, like a really nerdy schoolgirl. You graduated at 16, I heard.
Yeah, I graduated valedictorian at 16. I went to Worthing, and then I transferred to Jesse Jackson Academy, which is called Palm Center. And I was just real focused. I was a teacher's pet, a nerd. I always was on the dean's list. I always had straight A's. I was just really focused. And when I graduated from 16, I just got into the lifestyle that I knew nothing about.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, and so you said at 16 your sister started living with you.
Yeah, at 16, my sister started living with me. I got my own apartment because I was very independent. Even when I was staying with my mom, I got me a job at like 15. I was a hustler at heart.
Okay.
You know, before I even got in the streets, I was a hustler at heart. Whatever I needed to do to hustle to make sure that my family and I ate, then that's what I did. So I got my own apartment. I made sure my little sister stayed with me, and she graduated valedictorian as well.
Wow, really? Dang. Your parents must be proud. I know I didn't graduate near valedictorian. Your parents must be really proud. I heard you say on an interview you never put your parents, you can't think of anything you put your parents through. You must have been a good child. Wow.
I mean, I was a good child, but I still had a smart-ass mouth, and I still did what I wanted to do from time to time because I feel like I can get away with it because I was having good grades in school, and, you know, I feel like, okay, well, this is my leeway to have my little fun. I'm doing good over here. Let me have a little fun over here.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, what age did you start getting into boys, and were your parents okay with you dating, or, like, how did that work? How did that whole thing work?
I mean, the boys was beating down the walls when I was in high school. However, you know, when I got into the streets and I really knew what Houston was about because for a long time I stayed in Houston, but I only knew my school and my house because my school was right across the street from my house.
Okay.
So my whole life was, you know, filtered around just home and school.
Okay.
My sister started dating this older guy, and his sister was in the streets. She used to go to the club every weekend, you know, really being the girl, and that wasn't something I was used to. I never wore makeup, you know, wasn't wearing weave like that, you know, freestyle braids and stuff like that, but wasn't really into the lifestyle.
Okay.
So my sister started dating this guy, and his sister started coming around, and my mom was cool with her coming around, and we started going out with her. And when we started going out with her, the first time I ever went out, I was like, oh my gosh, there's really this many people in this world, like, because I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
You know, we was so like, it was just family and school. That's it.
Yeah,
you know, we wasn't introduced to the clubs and the lifestyle and boys and all of that. Yeah, we would see boys at school, but
kind of sheltered.
You're right, very much sheltered. I was between my mom's house and my godmother's house.
Okay.
So, you know, I grew up kind of different than my siblings did. My godmother then was more, you know, preppy. You know, they built a studio in the back of the house for me when I was like 12, 11 years old, put me in piano lessons, put me through a lot of different things. My sister them, you know, I grew up in the hood, 5th Ward, right down the street from where we at right now. Coke apartments, you know, 2-bedroom. Actually 1 bedroom, and it's four of us, and my mom, you know, she was a single parent and stuff like that. So we just had to make a way out of no way.
Yeah.
So once I had a little leeway, I found a way to get out the hood, and that's what I did.
Okay. So, you also talked about moving out. Do you think moving out is what made you kind of divert to the street life, away from, you know, the school and going to college and all that? Do you think that's what?
I think at a certain time in life when you feel like you're too grown to follow the rules and you want to do your own thing, you feel like you can take care of yourself, is when you really get introduced to the real world.
Okay. And do you think you were ready for the real world at that time?
No, definitely not.
Okay. So I want to talk about your grind and coming up and how you started in music, how you started with the singing, because honestly, as soon as you hear your music, you can honestly tell that you've had professional training. When you said you played piano, I can instantly, like, that makes perfect sense when you listen to you sing. You can tell you know the keys and the notes and everything like that. So I wonder,
I
Your
feel like
grind
my miracle bro
coming up to getting grinding and coming up and starting rap and all that.
So after I graduated high school at 16, got my own apartment, started going to the club, and that's when the real world started. And people was trying to talk to me, and I just wasn't, I didn't even know how to handle guys. I didn't know what to say. I was very shy, I think I gave a little bit more of myself than they was giving me because I thought that that's what I was supposed to do. Especially not growing up with a father and, no father figure to really show you like what love really means. So you looking for it in everywhere else. So that's how I really got in the streets. And then I ended up getting into this relationship with this guy, and we was together for a little while. Like, this is my man. And the only time I really used to see him was like at the club. We'll hang out, but this was my boyfriend. I'm young. I'm like 17, 16 at the time. So the things that I was thinking about then, I'm definitely on a different page now.
Yeah.
However, I found out one day we was at the club, and this girl was like, there she go right there. And I'm looking like, and so his truck was right there. So I'm like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Like, because I felt, how you feel different energies.
Yeah.
You ain't dumb at all. So I walked off to my car. At this point in time, I couldn't park in VIP. My car was parked all the way across the street on the other side, across the median. You know what I'm saying? Me and my 4 friends in my 1992 Ford Taurus, light blue with the silverback trunk. So I'm walking across the street, and this girl pulls up. She's like, get this ring. And the dude pulled up behind her. It's my dude. So, yeah. So I'm just like, and he's denying me the whole time, acting like he don't know me, nothing. And that, like, really, like, hurt my heart so bad because I was so in love with him. It was my first love, and he played me. So after that, I remember this guy telling me, man, you need to come to my club and dance and this and that. And so I was like, club and dance? Nigga, I'm already dancing. Like, I'm dancing at the club every Saturday on the stage, jigging, And he wasn't talking about that type of dance. He was talking about a stripper.
Yeah.
And that's when I became a stripper. I went through that, and that same night I went to the club, and when I opened the curtains, I was like, this is where I need to be.
Okay. You think it was that? You think the stage is where you needed to be? Is that what you mean? Like this, like in front of people, the stage?
This is where
performing?
I need to be. When I walked in, blue and red lights shining everywhere, money on the stage, sexy girls, butt naked dancing, people everywhere, money everywhere. Like, this is where I need to be.
Okay. And then, so how did that lead to your music?
I've always knew how to sing. I just never had nobody to really guide me and direct me into the right place.
Okay.
So as I started dancing, I started getting different type of money, and I was able to do different type of things. I started hanging around different type of people. My friends and I one day went to the beauty supply store, and I really didn't want to go. So I ended up getting out the bed and getting in the car, and I rode with them. They went inside the store. I sat in the car. This guy, he comes and knocks on my window. He's like, hey, I got this CD. I'm selling CDs. And I'm like, ugh. Here we go, the same old song. So he finally convinced me to let down my window, which I did, and he gave me the CD, and he was like, I'll even sing for you. So he started singing for me, and I was like, oh, okay, let me buy 2 of them. So I bought 2 CDs. And so I bought the CD, I popped it in, I never took it out like for 2 weeks straight.
Okay.
I ended up calling the guy, his name is Simo. I ended up calling him, and I was like, look, I want to, I'm an artist, I know how to sing. I just, never had the right opportunity. Can you help me? Can you guide me? He was like, cool. End up meeting up at Starbucks. We went over some things. He took me to the studio, and maybe 2 weeks later, we ended up making my first song, which was Call Me For That Good.
Oh, okay. That was the record that blew up, right? That was the one that blew up from here that got you the whole. Wow, that was your first record.
Mm-hmm.
That did not sound like your first record.
My first major record. Yes.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Oh wow. That's crazy. So.
So shout out to the narrators.
Are you still friends with that guy that introduced you to music? Got you in the studio and all that?
Actually, we're still cool. I hadn't talked to him in like, almost a year, and he literally just popped up at my store yesterday.
Oh, okay.
From Miami.
Oh wow, cool.
Just
That's
popped
cool.
up. I didn't know anything about it. And I seen him on FaceTime. My sister called me. She was like, Simo's here. And I'm like, what? What are you doing here? But yeah, he popped up at my store. I wasn't here, but we spoke to each other, Everything is good. So I'm glad he's doing well.
That's good. By the way, her store is at 6101
Lowndes Avenue, Houston, Texas, 77020.
Heart of Fifth Ward.
All right, I'm ready.
They block people's transplants for having medical marijuana licenses. Even if you have the
don't need
license
to.
from California, you can still be blocked from your transplant. They can say you have a medical marijuana card from the doctor, you cannot have a transplant.
Hate her, but I fuck her like a lover. I was fighting, but we kiss under the cover. And baby, I don't never play around with you. Soon as we get together, you know what's going down. She say she love when I'm up in it. Them other niggas ain't with it. She like, what's your favorite position? I'm like, baby, every position. And I love when you wash the dishes. Not because you washing the dishes. It's because I'm a little short you be wearing when you walk around in the kitchen, yeah.